What's up, guys? Stan here with Jerusalem Naturals, and today I'm going to be showing you how I utilize this season for a salad season, right? This is when I get into my salads quite a bit because there's so much brassicas, there's so much leafy greens that are flourishing in this cold season. So I'm going to start off here with um, this is my kale. This is my red kale, right? I've had this for about a year and some change. I just come here and snip off a good 3 leaves. That's it. Snip off a good 3 leaves. And then I'll come here to my broccoli. And I let it bolt and I let it actually flower and blossom because I eat my broccoli raw. So it doesn't really make it any difference for me. Some people keep it, um, as you can see here, in its kind of a budding kind of a state. That's how it's preferred. But when you eat your greens raw, it really doesn't make a difference. So I'll come through and snip off these little blossoms here. And I also will take a leaf, maybe two leaves, right? And I just make my way down to, I have another broccoli. So that offers me more broccoli greens. I'll come by and I'll take 2 leaves. And the name of the game is sustainability. So you don't want to take off more leaves than necessary. And I find if you have a good span of maybe 10 plants, let's say you only have 10 plants, right? And they're all doing decent and they're all um, leaves that you can eat and put in a salad. A couple leaves from each one makes a decent salad. And because a lot of these that I'm taking from have very broad leaves, when I chop them up, I get more salad. That's just how it works. I'm also going to take some of this cranberry hibiscus. I'm going to take a few flowers off of here. I'm going to take a few flowers off of here. These are some very delicious flowers. They taste identical to cranberry and a little bit like sorrel for those of the tribe of Benjamin and my Caribbean people, my kin. It tastes like sorrel. It has that type of a citrus, not so much sour, but very crisp cranberry-like flavor. And I'll leave that. And just because I want to do a bit of a detox, what I'll do is I'll add about 2 leaves. I don't even know if I'm going to use all of these leaves. At least one in the salad of bitter leaf, Nigerian bitter leaf, which is good to detox the liver and the kidneys. And I'm also going to take a leaf off of my Brussels sprouts here. Brussels sprout greens are delicious. They're a bit fibrous, but I'm kind of adapt and used to eating fibrous leaves and leafy greens. It's very good for the gut, very good for the microbiome. It helps healthy bacteria live longer in your gut if you have good fibrous food, natural fibrous food, as close to straight out the ground as natural. That's why I eat most of my greens raw, where most people cook them. I'll eat collard greens raw. And that's the taboo in a lot of black households. But when you figure out the nutritional content in eating raw greens rather than cooking them and making them as savory as we like, you'll manage. You'll manage, right? So just off of those few leaves alone, I nearly have a pot full of greens and different, flowers for my salad. And we're not done, right? So I'm going to take a few off of my very vibrant kale here. This is my Rebor kale. I love how dark and purple it gets. This is a very rich color. It's full of anthocyanins that have very good medicinal properties for the body in eliminating free radicals, boosting the immune system, right? Look at that, that's beautiful. Super dark, healthy, vibrant green. Right, I'm gonna take one leaf from that. I might take two just because it's just so much full of anthocyanins. Perfect. Same thing with the cabbage. I'll come by and just take one leaf off of the cabbage, right? And that's enough. It's a very broad leaf. There's a lot to deal with. There's a lot to eat. And once I chop that up, it'll add a perfect addition to the salad. I'll get a few oregano leaves for their detoxifying properties and also for some flavor. Add those. I'm gonna even throw in a couple mint leaves, right? Just so that while I'm eating my salad, I get that refreshing bite every so often. Very rejuvenating. It adds a refreshing flavor to your salad. So I'm adding some of those. And look how, I want to take a moment to show you the difference in color and even aroma if you are growing these in your basils. I don't even think I have the name tag for this basil, but I believe this is one of my African Blue Queen basils. And look at the distinct purple colors. This is a rare color for you to even come across in nature. Check it out. And I will be taking clones of this plant so that people can get it and order it from Jerusalem Naturals themselves. But look at this. I don't have bees all over it like I used to because it's getting cold. But take a moment to notice this purple, and then I'm going to show you a different basil here, and you'll see the difference in purple. A distinct lighter hue. There's even some bees on this one. They'll probably be gone within a week or so because I know that it's getting a little cold out here. It's midday. It's like 1 o'clock, so this is the warmest it's going to get. So they probably came out to get a bit of nectar and a bit of pollen. But definitely there's nowhere near as much as there were a month ago. But you can see the difference in basil. Even the leaf structure is a bit different. This is a different variety of African blue basil. This one is a bit lighter, much lighter tones of purple. And it even has a lighter aromatic smell. This is the same as this one over here. This is a mother plant. Got a lot of bees on this one. So they're still hardy at work, but not as much as about a month ago. But back to our salad, right? I am going to take a few spears of basil from this plant. I'm going to take a few spears of basil from this plant. And what that's going to do is give a good variety of basil flavor within my actual salad. So I'll come through and I'll shuck these and just put all the petals into my salad, right? But in the meantime, I'm gonna get some rosemary as well. There's some bees in the rosemary too. I'm gonna get some rosemary just because I've felt myself come down with a bit of, not so much a cold, it hasn't gotten there yet, but I can hear and feel the congestion. So I'm gonna take a few sprigs of that from my mother rosemary. This is one of my Tuscan blue rosemaries, one of my favorite rosemaries. Anything with blue in the name of your rosemaries, and you're dealing with a more pure genetic, something that hasn't been bred or tampered with too much. All right, so I'm going to take a few sprigs of those, toss it into the pot. These are some more Brussels sprouts here. I'm going to take some more Brussels sprout greens, take 2 leaves from that, 2 leaves from that, add that to the pot. So those are the Brussels sprouts, and you can hardly tell that I really took any from it. So it's not going to harm the growth. It's not going to stunt it as if I would have took 10 leaves to make a full Brussels sprout salad, right? This is another cabbage right here, one of my red cabbages. I'm just going to come through, and I like to take the bottom leaves off because they're the not so beautiful ones, so to speak. There's a lot of mint leaves that actually blew on this and dried, but these are still good leaves to eat and put in the salad. Everything's going to get washed anyway, right? So as you can see, I'm only taking a few leaves from each plant, and I'm making a robust, complete salad out of it, right? This is how you sustain your actual eating and usury of your plants, of your garden. This is a callaloo plant that's growing kind of by accident in this pot with this Swiss, what is this, Swiss chard? No, it's not. This is a kale. This is one of my older kales. Very dark purple. I've had it for about 2-3 years. And I'll come by and take a couple leaves off of this callaloo. Every callaloo plant you see me have actually came from a Jamaican lady that gifted me one of her cuttings from her backyard. And it is such a territorial plant that I've ended up with hundreds of different callaloo plants, including this one that's popped up in the ground. All right, so it spreads its seeds all over, and year after year I get callaloo after callaloo. So I'm going to add these to the pot. All right, I have some Gotu Kola, which is a plant that's great for anxiety, depression, relieving of the nerves. This also could be used like for people with hyperactive nerves, like sciatica and things of that nature. It could help you with that as well. Take a few leaves of that, put that in there as well. This is a different variety of oregano. I'm going to take a sprig of that. Boom. All right. Bunch of spinach over here. I'm going to leave the spinach for now, just because this is accidental, or as my sister, Cold Emotion, shout out to her, she calls it voluntary plants. This seed fell from a mother plant and kind of just spread. And I've treated the backyard, the soil of the backyard itself, for ants. So I'm going to give it a good 5 months to get that out of its system before I harvest from anything that's in ground. So I'm going to be harvesting purely from things that are in pots and soil that I've made myself, right? These are the collard greens. I'm not going to touch them, but they are doing amazing. I am going to get, however, some of these purple Osaka mustard greens. Check that out. Check that out, right? Put that in there. And guys, it's really that easy. Just go about the garden, taking leaf from each plant, maybe 1, 2, or 3, depending on how good of robust foliage you have. Boom. That's a broad leaf. That's a long, broad leaf. When I chop this up, I'm going to give it a good chiffonade, which is a chef's technique of rolling and cutting leaves to maximize different cuts, or different maximize your volume, I should say. And when I toss the salad, it all gets incorporated, right? So this is going to be an official tossed garden salad. I'm going to take a few of these sweet potatoes. These are sweet potato leaves, good to eat, right? For those of you who don't know, sweet potato leaves are ready to go. You can eat them raw, right? They have a bit of a bitter taste for those who are not accustomed to eating things straight out of the garden, right? But this is something I do all the time. So the natural bitterness of a lot of leafy greens, my body actually welcomes it and actually desires it now because my system has become incorporated to the benefits that I get from it. So sometimes when I'm feeling down or whatever, or if I'm not feeling at my tip top, I know I need to come out in the backyard and I need to eat something. Something live, something vibrant, something full of nutrition, right? And for a twist of flavor, I'm going to throw in some of these. It's called Mexican oregano, but you know, us from the islands, we call it sticky thyme. I wonder what you guys may call it. This is a type of mint, very pungent, very minty. And I'm going to add that to it as well. I might even make a tea out of some of those leaves. This is a voluntary tomato that has been going crazy. I even have some tomatoes in there. I wonder if y'all can see them. They're not ripe yet, so I'm going to leave them alone. But they better come along before it gets too cold. I didn't plan on these actually taking off. But even got some more flowers here. But you know, it is what it is. And I have some squash as well that are coming along, some patty pan squashes. Beautiful. But as far as my salad, guys, that's pretty much it. I might even take a couple more mustards just because I like the spice that mustard greens kind of supply. So I have a Florida broadleaf and I have some deep purple mustard greens over there. I also have this Gynaris Poppins. Forgot the actual name of this plant, but this is a very helpful plant. It's similar to comfrey. So what I'll do is I'll pluck some, take those leaves off, take a few leaves from this broadleaf, add that. I mean, the pot is overflowing at this point with the 1-2 here method. That's what I call it. Just one or two here and there. This is another mustard green. This is a curly purple mustard green. Just take one from each. And that's it. This is enough salad for today and tomorrow. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you guys how I chiffonade and cut all of these up. Some different seasonings that I put into my salad because I always season my salad. And that's pretty much it, guys. Check it out. We started there, went around, got some leaves from here and there, some medicinal leaves for just a medicinal boost to the salad so that you're not just getting the good fiber, you're not just getting filled from the greens, but you're getting a medicinal dosage into your body from the oreganos, from the mustard greens, from the anthocyanins, from the basils and all of that, right? And yeah, guys. So that's pretty much it. That's sustainability. You get here or there, you don't really take too much from one plant so the plant can bounce back. It can't really tell that you took some of its batteries. I consider these leaves batteries, right? Because they supply energy to the plant. And that's it. I can do this once or twice every 2 weeks. And I got salad. But until next time, guys, peace.